Welcome back. I posed this character in a kitsu. I'm not going to cover this, but it's just like it's not animated. It's just posed, and this is the paddler. It's going to be paddling, like stand-up paddling into this canoe. That's an old technique. I brought in this canoe. Let me just show you. Okay, this is a typical canoe made from one single trunk. The Indians, the natives in Brazil, they used to build these canoes from like a big broken tree or and just scooped into it. So I'm going to he's going to paddle standing on top of this canoe, and we're going to play around. I'm not going to have any liquid fluid simulation on this shot. It's just like a still shot with the canoe, and so let's play with this. I'm going to reset this. If I middle click, press Ctrl middle click into translate, just going to reset to default. So rotation as well, everything is set to default. And then I'm going to bring, and so now what I'm going to do, I think maybe it's time to separate the water from this node, and so I'm going to do that also. I'm going to come to this box here. I'm going to bring a node here, and let me call this out water. I could rebuild, copy the whole thing to a new node, but it's fine like that. And then I will just come to this and just select the terrain, and we have this node. So now I'm going to get like another geometry node, and in this geometry node we're going to make like a water node. Okay, so let me think how we're going to do that, because if I put like an object merge here and we bring our water, what is this, like in the section cut out section out water. Okay, so we have the water now in here, and I'm also going to bring an object merge, and I'm also going to bring the canoe in here, and I want to try something, and for that, where is the canoe? Here. Okay, out canoe, accept. So I have the water and we have the canoe, both together. And then my idea for this is to try to make a Boolean operation in here, but because this is a carved geometry, would be good if you have like the whole thing closed. So let's see how can we approach this, because to be able to make a Boolean subtract the canoe from the bottom, we need to think that this is full of air, and when we cross against the surface, it should cut like all over and shouldn't just like be in the border, because the Boolean would look to this geometry here and would subtract just the geometry of the thickness of the canoe and not the inside. And we can't have water here in the inside, so we need to fill this object. And there is basically, there is a lot of ways to do this, but I'm going to just show quickly two ways of doing it. The first one is, let me bring it to here. Let's make a VDB from polygons, and let me make it like 0.02, maybe 0.1. I think it's good, and then we can use like a Reshape VDB, VDB Reshape, and with this it's dilating. We can make like it close, and what we need to do is increase this offset. For example, if I put like this 10, it's just like a rounding up and closing this. Like it's 20. It's going to think more and more. It's just like to calculate like as higher this number, it's going to take longer for it to process. So let me put like 50. Yeah, and you see we got this almost to the top, and I think this is good. We're using the coordinates, it's not based, it's high because it's based on the object itself and not like the world space unit. Could be much less if it would be world space. And this is enough for us. We have like now a solid object. If we convert to a VDB, we'll be able to cut this. The other way, I'm going to choose this way because it's easier, just two nodes. just for you to know, like the other way would be we could just make, for example, create a box, and in this box, let me just do this, and then we cover the box with the object here. Here, we have everything covered. Doesn't matter to be really like tight. It's good like that. And then we make like a Boolean operation between this object and the box. And what we want to have between these two is it's actually the intersection. So let me put a null so I can see what's happening. So it's not the intersection, sorry. We need to subtract. And is b minus a. Oh yeah, it's this one, but then the box, one thing that's important is that we make it like a bit like we need to have like just the top part showing. I think this is good for us. You see what we got? So now that we have this, we can come to the Boolean, and we can just like make a selection in the polygon and double click in this shift and double click. So we have just this separated, this interior part, and then we can just blast, delete non-selected. So now I have this interior part, and then we could just like make like combine this with this. Let me see if we can do that. The way I would do normally, I would convert this to VDB, and combine both VDBs. But let me see if this would work already. From this, we'll have like this, and then instead of intersect, we want union, and then let's bring it to this so we can visualize. Yeah, we have like this going on here. It's just like fading down, but it's just because just a tricky of the mind, because the canoe is just like the box. The canoe is just like in this direction. So yeah, I wonder, it's a bit tricky. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know if the canoe is just like going too much to the top part. If we have any movement in the canoe itself into this object, and there is no transformation at all in here. Yeah, we didn't do any transformation. So let me see if the canoe itself will have any transformation on this node, 0 in this level, and this one, 0. So the canoe is actually like that. It's just going higher on the front. So that's why we have the sensation of it like having like this going down, but it's just because this part is going up. So we have now a full object with all together, and then maybe in here we could just like do just to make everything good, VGB from poly, and then we have like this 0.01 again, and yeah, we have our canoe filled with this. So that's the two ways, and then we convert from here. The way I'm going to do is the other way, the first option that we had. I like this one better, just because it's more simple and it's more even around the whole object. So if we want to shift the inclination of the canoe, we're going to get a better result. So now we can VGB convert VGB to polygons. Yeah, it's a bit too much. We can do a poly reduce, but yeah, why not? Like, let's do a poly reduce, and let's make it like how many polygons we have in this? 80,000. Let's make it like 10%. Yeah, so we have a lighter geometry, and it's good for make the Boolean now with the thing. I'm going to freeze transformation in here so it doesn't recalculate this, and now I have to Boolean. Oh, we have to transform it. Actually, what we gotta do, we need to put like a transform node in here and figure out where we want to place this object. So maybe I need to do this one, and then let's make this ghost getter, so we have the guy here where we want, and then we just need to transform the canoe to where we want it to be, more or less. So more or less like this, and then we need to have the guy here. You see, this line is actually our reference, so the guy is actually more or less in the right spot down there. This is just a Boolean, so it's okay for him to be, probably he would have his feet like here. Yeah. Oh, no, I think. Yeah, more or less like this. I think that's where we want our canoe to bool this object, and let's see the result. So yeah, this is the part that was that we are cutting from the surface of the water. So yeah, this is the part. Maybe the guy is actually under the water as well, but I think it's good. So this transformation, this transform node, is important because this is the one that's transforming the canoe to where it going to be like the position of the canoe. So now that we have the water and we can merge the canoe on top of that, and or you can have like this node just for the water and another one for the canoe. I think I'm going to merge them both together. I think there's no problem for this. So what we can do, we can just like make another transform node in here, and if I use this window here to just come to the water, and then we have like this selected in here and the other one is in here, so we can just link both of them, like making this and bring it over here and relative reference, so everything that we change in one is going to change in the other. So we have like this, and merge this one to this one. Yeah, so we have like our canoe, and now it's cutting the water properly. I don't know if we have a normal here. No normal in our canoe, so let me put like a normal node so we have like a better visualization in here. So the guy is there, the canoe is there. I think it's good. So I'm going to call this water canoe. So, and this one I would just make it like lighter. It's just like a reference, like for example our shells. I'm going to put like this, and I like to have like this and call this as original, like geometry. That's where it's just grabbing things from. And yeah, now we have like this. Let me organize better. Let me save, also important. And now I'm going to bring the pedal. We need to have the pedal there. But first, why don't we have a quick render and see where we are at this moment. So yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so our water is weird with the Boolean. I think these stripes here made it weird. Yeah, it is definitely weird. So let me grab the camera. Let me see. Yeah, we have like these weird lines going on. Oh, sorry again. Let's see what's going on here. We need clothes on this guy as well, so it's okay for now. Well, the water surface can come to this. Let me pause the render and let's dive inside. Maybe the geometry of that is bad. Maybe maybe this is the reason. We have like the water, we have like this is the where it's coming from. So we have like this as a polygon. So I'm going to convert it to a polygon mesh, and I'm going to increase the subdivisions to something higher, like 40 by 4 by 40, more or less, because this is just 1/10 of this, so maybe even higher, like 100, 10, 100. And now let's see what happened with our Boolean operation in here. Yeah, we have like a more subtle Boolean operation in here. Let me just have a look on this node here. You see we have just like this edge with this weird geometry. Yeah, we could make this water like convert to VDB and bring back. It will definitely do something with that. But let's see how the render reacts to this geometry now. I was to go this and object. And oh yeah, you know, like we came here and we select the wrong node, so we need to select this one. And yeah, let me save. Oh, let me save. And let's see what we get. Yeah, now we got it. You see, we have good lines. The geometry was just a polygon, and it's if you do in booleans and this kind of stuff, it's good to have more subdivisions and to convert it to a polygon mesh. We're going to have a better surface. Yeah, let me get closer to the canoe. Yeah, see, we can see barely a bit of, yeah, now, yeah, we can see anything actually, it's good. Yeah, now we have it. So we cut the surface of the water, we have the canoe going there. I still wanted to be like maybe even more deep into the water. I think they have like this almost water going through this. So now we have a procedural way of doing that. Because if we change the Boolean node, the transformer, we're also going to change the canoe itself. So it's going to be easy to do that. So I come to this node and I will have like I'm also going to do this. We have the translate, but I'm also going to come and get the rotate. So everything that we do in this node, in our Boolean node, is going to affect our. Let me hide the object here. So we have like this, and let me see. I want to see the canoe, and I want to change this node, but seeing the canoe. So let's make it like dive a bit in. I think this is good. Yeah, I like it. And let's make like it's totally flat. So let's just make it rotate a tiny bit, like in this direction. Yeah, like this. So now we need to work in our character. His feet is just like weird. So I do this and just move this guy a bit. And if I would pose properly, I would have to see like this feet like should go like very close together. It's not how it's looking, but it's fine. We won't have like this. That's the thing that I talked about, like to see how you're going to approach this is very important, like to how much energy you put. I could just bring this while the canoe while we're posing and put his feet in the correct position, but we just won't see. And the main thing is the shells popping out of this section of the canoe. This is just like just to give more details and to be more interesting, the whole thing. So yeah, that's the thing. So now I just I shut this down this class, and then in the next one I will bring the pedal and we make the final adjustments.